Good afternoon, Facebook family. Today is the day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. You know, y'all, it was a point in my life that I was looking at the world and I was like, man, these people in the world are having so much fun. They don't got a care in the world. They don't care about nothing. And they just living. The people in the world, they doing what they want to do. They going to clubs, they drinking, they partying till the next day. They going in. Lord, I feel some type of way. Because they doing all that, having a good time, and yet I'm here serving you, trying to stay faithful to you. Here I am, God, waiting on you. Reading your word, going home, getting off work, going home, reading my word, worshiping, being a good daughter, being a good servant to you, God. That's what I'm trying to do. And I feel some type of way because why I gotta do it? Why I gotta be the good girl? That's how I used to feel, y'all. But God showed me something. And I was reminded of that today. I met a guy, y'all, at my job. I come across so many people, it's ridiculous. And we always just sit, conversate, and it be good. It be good. And today, the man that I met, he was telling me about how on social media he got thousands of followers and how he just a funny person and how he loved making people laugh and this, that, and the other, how his homeboys, they go out, they club, they do this, that, and the other, they play pranks on people. You know, he just telling me about his life. And then he said, but when I go home, I barely sleep 3 hours. I be tossing and turning, nightmares. My daddy died. I'm not healed from that. I went through a 15, 16-year relationship. I'm not healed from that. He go on and he tell me he used drugs, alcohol to try to suppress all of these emotions, all of this stuff that he going through. And then he says at the end, I'm just tired. Woo! And y'all, I went to the Word of God. And in Psalms chapter 73, the whole Psalm 73, it talks about how we as Christians should never be envious of worldly people, of the wicked, of people that are not living for God. We should never be jealous. Psalm 73, verse 2, it says, but as for me, my feet had almost stumbled. My steps had nearly slipped. For I was envious of the boastful when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no pains in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, nor are they plagued. But then if you jump down to verse 17, the psalmist who wrote this Psalms, he realized something. But he didn't realize it until he went into the sanctuary of God. It says, until I went into the sanctuary of God, then I understood their end, meaning the wicked. He's talking about the wicked. The word of God says in verse 18, surely you set them in slippery places. You cast them down to destruction. Oh, how they are brought to desolation as in a moment. They are utterly consumed with terrors, as a dream when one awakes. So, Lord, when you awake, you shall despise their image. And as we skip down again in verse 27, it says, for indeed, those who are far from you, God, shall perish. You have destroyed all those who desert you for harlotry. But it is good for me to draw near to God. I have put my trust in the Lord that I may declare all your works. So I say all that to say this, y'all. We never have to be jealous or envious of the world's way of doing things. The people in the world, the people who serve the world, the people who serve things in the world, all that stuff, it's going to pass away one day. And then what will they have? And then what? And then who will they have? That's why a lot of celebrities commit suicide. That's why you see a lot of people, they'll go spend $700 on a pair of shoes or some Giuseppe's or some Louis Vuitton shoes just to try to prove that they got the money. But once the price have been paid, they end up with nothing. Their bank accounts are empty. Their bills are not being paid on time. They're in a rut. They're in debt. And yet they are still trying to put on this persona that they got it all in control. But they don't. So as the psalmist said in Psalm 73, I have put my trust in the Lord, and I shall declare all of his works. And God, I'm just going to be steadfast and unmovable in your word, in your way, in your will, because that's the price that I choose to pay.